Women communicate desire through touch before they ever speak it. Most men stand there feeling nothing, reading nothing. You think a hug is just a hug. You think it's polite, social, safe. But while you're standing there with your arms barely wrapped around her, she's already told you everything, and you missed it. This matters because men are dying in a desert they don't even know exists. You're starving for clarity, for certainty, for a sign that she wants you, and it's been there the entire time, hidden in the way her body presses into yours, in the seconds she holds on longer than she should, in the breath she takes against your chest. The ancient philosophers understood something we've forgotten in the digital age. Truth is spoken through the body, not the mouth. Plato called it the language of the soul. The body cannot lie the way words can. It portrays intention. It reveals what the conscious mind tries to hide. Women know this instinctively. They've been reading body language since childhood. It's survival. It's social navigation. It's how they move through the world without saying what they really mean. But you've been trained to ignore it, to be polite, to not assume, to wait for explicit verbal confirmation that never comes. So, you miss her. You miss the moment she leaned in, just a little too close. The moment her fingers lingered on your arm. The moment she hugged you goodbye and her hips tilted forward instead of away. And then she's gone, and you're left wondering why nothing ever happens. This isn't about manipulation, it's about literacy. You're illiterate in the language she's been speaking fluently your entire life, and that illiteracy costs you everything. Behavioral psychology has studied this for decades. Touch is the first language. Before we had words, we had skin, we had pressure, we had warmth. Dr. Carm, Tiffany Field from the Touch Research Institute found that touch activates the brain's reward centers faster and more intensely than verbal communication. It releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. It creates trust before a single word is exchanged. But here's what matters. The type of touch determines the type of bond. A handshake creates distance. A pat on the back is friendly but closed. A side hug is social, safe, controlled. But a full body hug, that's different. When a woman pulls you in close, when her chest makes contact with yours, when her arms wrap around your neck instead of your shoulders, she's not being friendly, she's testing. She's reading your response, your tension, your hesitation, your reciprocation. Anthropologist Helen Fisher studied romantic attachment and found that physical proximity and sustained touch are the primary accelerators of sexual chemistry. Not looks, not conversation. Touch. The hug is her opening move. It's how she gives you permission to feel her body without saying it out loud. It's how she creates plausible deniability while still making her interest known. And if you don't respond correctly, if you pull away too fast or stay stiff and distant, she reads that as rejection, not verbal rejection, somatic rejection, body-level disinterest, and she never tries again. Picture this. You're at a party, a dinner, a casual hangout. She's been close to you all night, laughing a little too hard at your jokes, finding reasons to touch your arm, leaning in when she talks. The night ends. Everyone's saying goodbye. She walks up to you, not to shake your hand, not to wave from across the room. She steps into your space. She opens her arms, and in that moment, most men go on autopilot. You hug her the way you hug your mom, your sister, your coworker. Arms around her shoulders, body slightly turned, 3-second squeeze, polite smile. Done. You think you did the right thing. You think you were respectful, but what you actually did was slam the door in her face because she wasn't offering you a polite goodbye. She was offering you an invitation. Let's break it down. There are levels to this. Not all hugs are created equal, and women know this. They've calibrated their touch to communicate different things to different men. The acquaintance hug, arms around the shoulders, body angled to the side, quick release. This is the hug she gives to men she feels nothing for. It's polite, distant, closed. The friend hug, arms around the torso, brief but warm, no lingering. This is comfort without chemistry. She likes you. She trusts you. But there's no spark. Then there's the hug you need to recognize. The one that lasts half a second too long. The one where her body doesn't turn to the side. It faces you. Full frontal contact. chest to chest, hips slightly forward instead of pull back. Her arms digressed on your shoulders. They wrap around your neck or your waist. Low, intimate. She exhales, not a normal breath, a release, a sigh that presses her body deeper into yours. She doesn't pull away first. She waits, lingers, lets the silence stretch just long enough that you start to notice it. And when she finally lets go, her hands slide down your arms slowly, deliberately, maintaining contact until the last possible second. That's not a hug. That's a signal. And if you don't respond, if you just stand there stiff and polite, she reads that as disinterest. She tried. You didn't reciprocate. Case closed. You miss it because you've been conditioned to fear your own instincts. You've been told that noticing attraction is predatory, that reading signals is projection, that assuming anything is dangerous, so you override what your body already knows. You feel her press into you and you tense up. You feel her breath on your neck and you pull away. You feel her hands linger and you step back, not because you're not interested, but because you're terrified of being wrong. Here's the truth. She's terrified too. She's putting herself out there in the only way that feels safe through plausible deniability, through body language that can be dismissed as nothing if you reject her. But she's hoping you don't dismiss it. She's hoping you feel it, respond to it, match it. The problem is, most men don't even register it consciously. Psychologists call this perceptual blindness. You're so focused on not making a mistake that you stop perceiving what's actually happening. You're in your head analyzing, second-guessing, overthinking. Meanwhile, she's in her body, feeling, expressing, waiting, and the moment passes. Let's decode it. When she pulls you close, she's saying, I trust you. When she exhales into your chest, she's saying, I feel safe with you. When her hips press forward, she's saying, I want you to feel me. When her hands slide down your back, she's saying, I'm not ready to let go yet. When she holds on a few seconds longer than necessary, she's saying, notice me, please. But here's what most men don't understand. She won't say it twice. If you don't respond in the moment, if you don't reciprocate the energy, if you don't let your hands rest on her waist instead of her shoulders, if you don't lean in instead of pulling back, she'll assume you're not interested and she'll shut it down. Not out of spite, out of self-protection. She took the risk. You didn't take it with her, so she moves on. This is why so many men end up in the friend zone without ever understanding how they got there. You thought you were being respectful. She thought you weren't attracted to her. You were both wrong, but the opportunity is gone. So what do? You respond in her language, not with words, with your body. When she pulls you in, you pull her in too. Not aggressively, not desperately, calmly, firmly, with intent. Your hands don't rest on her shoulders like you're hugging your cousin. They rest on her waist, on the small of her back, low enough that she feels it, high enough that it's not crass. You don't pull away first. You let her decide when it ends, but you also don't just stand there stiff. You relax into it. You let your chest make full contact. You let your breath slow down. You match her energy. If she exhales, you exhale. If she holds on, you hold on. If her hands slide down your arms, yours slide down hers. You mirror her subtly, instinctively. This is called kinesthetic rapport. It's how dancers move together without speaking, how fighters anticipate each other's strikes, how lovers sync their breathing in bed. It's body-to-body communication, and it's how she knows you're paying attention, not just to her words, to her. Here's what happens when you get it right. The hug ends, but the energy doesn't. There's a pause, a moment where you're both still close, still looking at each other, still feeling the residual warmth of the contact. She smiles, not a polite smile, a real one, the kind that reaches her eyes. She might say something casual, something that doesn't acknowledge what just happened, but confirms it anyway. That was nice. I needed that. You give good hugs. And then she walks away. But she's different now. She's lighter, more open, more comfortable because you spoke her language. You didn't need to say anything. You didn't need to ask permission. You didn't need to verbally confirm what was happening. You just responded. And that's what she was hoping for. This isn't just about hugs, it's about communication, about understanding that desire is rarely spoken out loud, especially by women. They can't afford to be that direct socially, emotionally, biologically. So they communicate through subtext, through body language, through touch. And if you can't read it, you'll miss most of what they're trying to tell you. Not just about attraction, about everything, about how they're feeling, what they need, what they want. The hug is just one example, but it's everywhere. In the way she leans into you during a conversation, in the way she plays with her hair when you're talking, in the way she finds excuses to be near you, in the way she touches your arm when she laughs. Most men see these as coincidences, accidents, politeness. They're not. They're intentional. Subconscious maybe, but intentional. And if you're not paying attention, if you're waiting for her to say it out loud, you'll wait forever because she won't. She'll just move on to a man who can read her. Here's where this gets deeper. This isn't about manipulation. It's not about tricks or tactics. It's about responsibility. The masculine responsibility to lead, to read, to respond. Women don't want to explain their desire to you. They want you to feel it, to recognize it, to meet it. That's what masculine energy does. It reads the room, it senses the unspoken, it moves decisively without needing permission for every step. But modern men have been trained out of this. You've been told to ask for consent at every stage, to verbalize everything, to never assume. And while explicit consent is non-negotiable in sexual contexts, this social overcorrection has made men terrified of their own instincts. You don't trust what you feel anymore. You second-guess everything. You need her to say it before you believe it. But she's not going to say it. She's going to show you. And if you can't say it, you'll lose her. Not because you're a bad person, but because you're illiterate. So learn the language. Pay attention to her body, not just her words. Notice when she leans in, when she touches you, when she lingers and responds. Not with hesitation, not with overanalysis, with presence, with confidence, with calm certainty. That's what she's looking for. Not a man who asks permission to exist in her space, but a man who recognizes when he's been invited. Here's the final piece. The hug is a test, not a conscious one, not a manipulative one, but a test nonetheless. She's testing whether you can read her, whether you can feel her, whether you're present enough to notice what she's offering. And most men fail, not because they're bad men, not because they're unattractive, but because they're not paying attention. They're in their heads, overthinking, afraid, disconnected from their own bodies. And she can feel that. She can feel your tension, your hesitation, your fear, and it turns her off. Not because you're weak, but because you're not present. Presence is the most attractive quality a man can have. Not wealth, not status, not looks. Presence, the ability to be here now with her fully. And that starts with something as simple as a hug. So the next time she steps into your space, the next time she opens her arms, the next time she presses her body against yours and exhales into your chest, don't pull away. Don't tense up. Don't overthink it. Just be there. Feel her, read her, respond to her, because she's not just hugging you, she's speaking to you.